Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Millionaire Autobahn. My name is Martin and welcome. Since the last video, or my first video on this channel, I got actually quite a lot of response. I was very impressed, so thank you for that. So today I'm going to talk about what to do and not to do when going to stake Olympus DAO, Wonderland Time, Snowbank SB, or if you have a node with strong block. Also, there's a new kit on the block called Delta One. Comes out soon. It's a stablecoin with an incredible APY of 1% a day. That's roughly the same thing as Olympus DAO has, which is amazing because the value pretty much of the coin never goes down. So it's a very, very safe bet. We'll talk about that more later or in another video. For now, I want to talk about on actually what's important when you stake any type of cryptocurrency. So what happened to me was when I started in this cryptocurrency business, I always looked at the value amount, the US dollar amount of the coin I'm staking, or the coin I'm minting, or the nodes I have a strong block or other. And there are days where cryptocurrencies go down 20%, even 30%. Sometimes I'm like, holy moly, should I get out? And then I started actually to remind myself, I'm actually not in for the short term. It's like when you invest in stocks, you're in there for the long term. However, there is a little bit of a difference there. So usually in stocks you would invest for at least 10, 20 years. Whereas in crypto, I think like 1, 2, maybe 3 years is considered already long. The reason for that is you actually don't know if that coin that you're investing is still there in 5 years. So keep all that in mind, and that the volatility is very, very high of these coins. However, it is important that you stay calm, and I will explain what I mean. So just say you bought Olympus DAO when it was $800 a coin. Then it went down to about $700 a coin maybe a week or two later. Even though it went down, it doesn't really matter because you're in there for the long run. So for you it's just important to actually create more coins in your staking account. The reason for that is, let's say in about a year or in 2 years, you have then a couple of hundred OHM tokens in there. Each token might still be worth $800. So what you got to keep in mind is that on a monthly basis, you actually get about 40% APY on staking OHM. So just think of that for a little bit. Let's say you have 200 OHM tokens that you have in the staking account. So you get 40% every month of new tokens. With that in mind, so 40% of 200, that is 80 tokens every month. So let's assume the dollar amount is still $800 a token. That accounts for $36,000 per month. So even if the amount is down to $200 or even just $100, you would still get $8,000 a month for doing practically absolutely nothing. And just think of it, the investment might have been just $800 or maybe $1,000 a year back, or 1.5 years back. I said on my blog, millionaireoutbound.com, I actually said I don't think there's any other investment opportunity out there where the value of the investment property goes down by 99% and you still would come out positive every month. So let me actually show you on my board what I mean with that. Alright, welcome to my sheet here. Let's call it a cheat sheet. So you paid $800 for 1 OHM. Roughly per month you have about 40% APY. Let's call this APY. And so this gives you 1 ohm, 40%, so you would have 1.4. Then the next month you would actually have 1.96. So if we move this along, it just says 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So after 12 months, you should have roughly 56 ohm tokens. That would be actually APY, yearly APY of 5,669. I think it's more like 7,000 something. So the 40% is actually a bit lower than what it originally is. But I think just for the argument's sake, just take the 40%, okay? So here we have then 56 ohm tokens. So if we then say, okay, how much is that worth? This would be $45,000 in 1 year's time. So still, do not look at this number. Don't worry if it's $800 or not. So just delete this again, don't worry about it at all. So we move this on a little bit. So just think of it till you have reached, let's say, just go on, let's say 6 months more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you have a total of 18 months. All right. So 18 months. You have 426 ohm tokens. So let's assume still it would be $800. So we would say equals this times 800. This would then be a nicely $341,000. Again, we don't worry about that. So just delete that. What we worry about is actually only this number and how many new tokens we would get from this point on every month. The idea is that from this point on, we would actually take out the 40% we're getting every month to have a monthly salary from that. So from this point on, if you just go one row more down, and then we say here, this minus this row, this would be 170 tokens every month. So now if we say we still are at $800, so we take this times 800, this would be $136,000. As I said, this is if the amount is $800. So now just assume that we would say, okay, it's down to 80. So the ohm token lost about 90% of its value, and it's down to 80. You would still have $13,600 every month out of this token for nothing. Just think of that. So even if it would go down further, let's say it goes down to a mere $10, it would still be $1,700. Just think of it, 18 months before you just invested 800, and you would still get 1,700 every month if the token is down to $10. So what I'm saying here is, once you have reached, I would say, the 18-month threshold, or depending on what you invested, about 400 ohm tokens. Once you have reached that amount, you should actually take every month the money out and invest it in something else. The main reason why I'm saying that, I said before in the beginning, that these cryptocurrencies, you never know how long they will be around. It could be 2 years, 3 years, could be forever. But to be on the safe side, I would actually say after 18 months start getting paid out. Maybe even after 12 months, depending on how high the current ohm price is. So you can use this calculator, of course, or this type. It's a very, very simple rudimentary calculation, but you can use this to also calculate any other of the staking cryptocurrencies that are out there. This could be Wonderland Time, Snowbank, SB. So this one here is the Delta One, and what I like about this, of course, is it is a stable coin. So it will actually stay $1 throughout, which is nice. Because of that, you don't have to worry about prices go up or down. So with this, you could actually look every day, okay, how much have I earned, which is nice. Whereas the other ones, if you look every day, you might get a heart attack or whatnot if it goes down 40-50%. So as I said, don't do that. Only look at the numbers, how many coins, tokens you have created during that time. And once it's the right time, start, pay yourself out. So again, with this one here, you get 1% per day, which I would say is roughly the same thing as what you get with Olympus Ohm. Maybe this is a little bit less than that, but it's still, I would say it's still between 30 and 40% a month, like what I just calculated. So this is actually very, very interesting. This is in starting in beta. It's still not yet, you still cannot actually use it. This is just a screen to look at for now, and how it will look, how it will work. But overall, this is a very, very interesting project that is on the horizon and should start soon. Since there are so many of these tokens out there that you can stake and mint, that you can have notes on and whatnot, it is very, very important for you to do your own due diligence. You have to look into, is this a viable project or not? For example, Olympus Ohm has been out there now for many months, and their code is audited, meaning you can actually go on GitHub and download the code yourself. You can look at it and see if you find some discrepancies in there, if there's an issue with it or not. If not, that's what is important. Those other forks out there, the Snowbank, SB, the Wonderland Time, they're not yet audited. So that code could just be doing something to maybe lure you in. So when you invest in those, make sure you only invest as much as you're able to lose. Because it could be, even though you look at it in 6 months and 8 months and 10 months and you think, wow, I have $100,000 in there, it could be the next day it's all gone. So very, very important, make sure you only invest as much as you can lose. Because all these sites out there, I will not say they're scammers, but you never really know. So take from this video that first, when you do staking, when you do minting and all that, do not worry about what the dollar value is for each of the coins you're using. Just let it go, don't look at it. I thought to myself and say, okay, I only look into it actually on Fridays. I do like a financial analysis every Friday, put everything in my Excel sheet to make sure it all goes to plan. And then I turn it off. I also log out of my wallets, don't do anything with them in that area, also for security reasons. The second thing is, as said, go over each of those projects to make sure you feel comfortable with them. As there are a lot of scammers out there. I actually just watched a video yesterday on how to create a token. It's ludicrous. Pretty much anybody can do it, and you can name it whatever you want, and you can start getting people involved into it, buying the token. Overall, there's nothing wrong with it. If people are interested in it and they want to buy it, that's fine. But what I mean is, you can also, from 1 second to another, you can take that token off the chain, so it's not you're not able to actually exchange it on any of the exchanges out there. You cannot swap it with anything any longer. So just make sure when you get into this that you have made your own due diligence, so you're not disappointed in 6 months or in a year's time. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much. Please actually hit the subscribe button and the like button and all those things. That is kind of important. And I will talk to you then next week. Thank you. Bye.